Hello, hello, beautiful souls. My name is Lisa, and today I want to talk about something that I've had struggles with, honestly, for 20 years, if not more. And really, I've been working through it the last couple weeks as I've been getting my kids ready for school and just, living life with 3 kids. There's a lot of things to do. There's a lot of things that pop up. All 3 kids want time and energy. All 3 kids need food. All 3 kids need clothes and supplies and shoes. And, it's really kind of a lot. And what I've really been working through the last couple weeks is the fact that I notice a lot. Like if something is out of place, I notice it. If something isn't clean, I notice it. If something needs to be done, we're out of mustard or whatever, it goes into my mind and it's there. And really, it's great because, I notice a lot. And so a lot gets done. But it's frustrating when it feels like I'm the only one that is noticing things that need to be done. And it gets extra frustrating whenever you couple that with an inability to ask for help or to delegate or to set boundaries. You end up, if you're the noticer that doesn't set boundaries, you end up burnt out. And that's exactly what happened to me a couple of years ago. And I thought it was just my job, but I still find myself carrying probably too much when it could be spread about. And what I want to talk about today is how this has affected me in the past and how I'm choosing to switch my mindset with it and how that's helping. And so maybe it can help some other noticers of all the things, So I remember way back whenever I first started at Subway, my boss told me something that still comes in my head all the time. And what he had said was that I needed to stop expecting other people to be as good as I am. And at first I was like I don't like to think of myself as better than anyone. I don't believe that I am better than anyone. I do believe that everyone's doing the best that they can with what they have. Maybe they're not lacking motivation, they're lacking the skills, they're lacking the knowing of what needs to be done. But he told me that, and it didn't click. It still hasn't really clicked. But he said I would feel a lot better, if I stopped expecting what I give out of other people, essentially. And what I bring to the table, what I give, is I pick up on every little thing, and then I am a really hard worker as well. And I think a lot of it too has to do with childhood. If my room wasn't clean, I would be in trouble. If the kitchen wasn't clean after dinner, then I would be in trouble. If the house wasn't clean, the bathrooms weren't clean. And I'm not talking about just scrubbing a toilet and calling it clean. I'm talking the baseboards need to be cleaned and behind the toilet. And so very detail oriented. Whereas what I see around me whenever I was working and also in my life now is just this slacking. If you're going to do something, do it well. That's what my motto is. But it seems like the rest of the world, for the most part, just like tries to do as little as possible and roll with that. So, that's where boundaries and delegation and making sure people know what's expected comes in handy. But it's just so damn frustrating, being able to see everything and then you feel like a nag whenever you're calling everything out. The people around you generally don't take it very well, and it's just this like nothing is ever good enough because there's always something to notice, right? Whenever we get down to the nitty-gritty of this, like, we don't live in a perfect world. So yes, there's always going to be something to fix or something that could be better. But the way my mind was like, it's not okay unless everything is fine. If everything is the way it should be, then I feel okay. And that's really something that I've had to let go of, creating patience within myself to allow for mistakes from myself and others. And that's another part of this too. Whenever I'm finding myself frustrated at someone else for not doing whatever it is I think that they should have done, it's like there's a part in there of me that needs forgiveness for the times that maybe I have slacked off, right? And this is important. It's important to feel the frustration too. Like, you're having to ask someone who knows what they should be doing, but you have to continually ask them to do it. Like, that is frustrating. And it's important to not just negate that or invalidate it. Like, it's important to validate your frustration and your anger because there's a message in there. And for me, what that message has normally been is something about setting boundaries, maybe not picking up all the slack all the time for everyone around you and watching it kind of fall apart so that they can see that it's not just magically happening, And the biggest thing that's been the most helpful for me in the last couple weeks, whenever I feel myself going into this pattern, right? This pattern it's judgmental and it's critical, right? So that something in your perception you're wanting it to be different than what it is. So it's like a resistance to the present moment as well. And you're wishing that somebody else would, do more or do better. So you're kind of judging them and you're being critical on them. And those emotions are inside of you, right? So it's important to feel that frustration, to validate that frustration, to listen to the message, and then to speak up for yourself, frankly, has been my biggest issue. My biggest resistance is if I have to ask over and over and over again, then I feel like a nag, But really, they should. I shouldn't have to ask, They have eyes too, and they have a brain too, and they could figure it out. Maybe they don't know. Who knows? But if you're not asking for what you need, then that's partially on you. And so whenever I'm feeling myself slipping into this pattern, right? I don't want to do that because they should be able to do that. And if they're not going to do it, then why the hell would I do it? Sort of mentality. And that has been holding me back. That mentality of not doing my best knowingly, right? What I have control of in any given moment is what's going on inside of my body and how my behaviors are, how my actions are. So then, you could do the things that you need to do, and you could be filled with frustration while you're doing them. Like, oh, why won't somebody help me, right? But that's not good either, because you're filled with this frustration. So to feel that frustration and to allow that emotion to get the message that it's trying to send you, and then to recalibrate yourself, switch your mind from being critical, being judgmental, into gratitude for your ability to see what needs to be done, for your ability to do what needs to be done. And you can make it a meditative experience even, your laundry and your dishes. You can really feel the water whenever you're doing your dishes, or feel the warmth of the clothes. Gratitude for the machines that help us do these things. Gratitude to myself for keeping my area clean, right? And shifting from that critical, judgmental, frustrated mentality to gratitude and joy in what you're doing. It's really been transformational for me, and I'm finding that all of these things that I used to get really irritated about, it's not affecting me as I still feel the frustration at first, but then it turns into this gratitude to myself for taking care of myself. And part of that too has been speaking up and asking for help, and not carrying the weight just because I see it. Delegating. And yeah, it's just we have this expectation that people are going to give back what we put out, and that's not realistic, because we're all different. We're all in different places. We all have different things going through our minds that can block us from seeing what needs to be done or whatever. And yeah, it's just accepting how things are, as frustrating as that may be, not resisting what is, maybe, you need help and you just need to ask. And that is something that you can do, and you'll probably be more likely to get the help that you're asking for if you're doing it from a place of love for yourself rather than frustration at them for not helping. Yeah, I have been struggling with this for so many years, so much frustration inside of me for expecting other people to reciprocate what I give. And it doesn't work that way. You do get back what you put in, but it may not be from that specific person. So switching into gratitude for yourself and really feeling what it is that's in there that's frustrating you, that is your key to the boundaries that need to be set. And then setting those boundaries every time, even whenever you're shaking, even when your voice is shaking and you're scared or whatever it may be, allowing that safety to come into your body, giving yourself safety while you're doing the boundaries, while you're telling people your expectations. Your expectations are just that. It's what you expect. It's not what may or may not happen. And the key here is to be good either way, right? And that's what the gratitude does. It just puts you in this happier, more joyful place where the work that you need to get done will get done better. You're going to feel better. Like, if you're doing the dishes with gratitude and love, like, oh, I'm so grateful that I have these healthy people in my life to create these dirty dishes. And I'm grateful for the water that's running through my faucet so I don't have to go get it from a well. And I'm grateful for my dishwasher, that so easily washes my dishes for me. It just becomes a much more pleasant experience. And it could go the other way. You could be smashing dishes around and like, why doesn't anybody help me, And it's just like, it's not that important. It is important, to keep a clean space. But if it's a little dirty, or it doesn't get done right when you think it should, or it doesn't get done the way you think it should, like, these are all little things that are kind of super critical and judgy and can really mess with your inner peace, honestly. And it's like, at the end of the day, would you rather have inner peace than the dishes done exactly the way you'd like? But at the same time, expressing your preferences, just with no expectation of them coming to fruition, because, you never know what's going on with somebody, and maybe they have a reason, you can maybe try and understand, but yeah. I'm still working through this one, and it's, I think, tied to like enoughness and perfectionism. Like, in my head, I want everything to be perfect, all the time. And so letting go of that and really realizing that in any given moment, I can choose to see perfection regardless of what it may look like is not perfect, And then from that place, you can make choices that feel better. And your cleaning and your minuscule tasks or your job, it becomes more joyful, lighter, more pleasant, because you're doing it from this place of gratitude for your abilities, right? Like, it's not this frustration with other people. It's gratitude in yourself. And from that place, you receive a lot more help too. That's all I have for today. Thank you for listening. Bye.